Guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So today we're going to be talking about Phoebe Philo's latest collection C drop. When we saw the preview images of this collection, I did a whole video on it, but for today I thought we would talk about this latest drop here. And I was recently flipping through old Vogue magazine interviews, articles. I stumbled upon this article from back in the day, and it discussed how she really wanted to have her own brand. This is an interview from 2013. In the article, they're quoting her stating, "I was very, very eager to work," she says. "It's just the way I am." When she came back, though, it was going to be strictly on her own terms. And though she was wooed on all sides, it was LVMH Fashion's canny president, Pierre-Yves Roussel, who realized while interviewing Philo about establishing her own name brand that she would be a perfect fit for Celine. So again, this is something she's wanted for quite some time. They discussed how in the article, how when she entered Celine, it would be like a clean slate and she would allow her vision to show at the brand. Continuing on, one of the Philo philosophies has been to steadily reinvent a core group of pieces each season, the kind of wardrobe staples that she wears herself. Quote, "There's a classicism and beauty to it. Why change it? All the houses that still have their integrity and stand for codes have that way of working. The idea of fast fashion and everything always having to be new can lead to nothing other than a whole load of confusion. I don't feel the need for that in the way I dress, and I think lots of other women feel the same way." It's just amazing to me reading this article from, over 12 years ago, how that same attitude, that same sentiment, that same approach is being applied to her brand here. Now, of course, not the exact same pieces. There is an evolution, and that's not to say everything always has to be the same. It is very obvious that the work she did in 2013 is very different from the work we are seeing here at her own brand. But I just wanted to highlight that because, again, I feel like that is what we are seeing in this latest collection, just a continuation of her brand. And I thought we'd just go category by category as always. And I want to start off with handbags. In terms of what's new in the realm of handbags, that I'm going to also include leather goods, is the mini bean sling bag in black. So this is a mini version of the sling bag, which we saw previously, which was more like a hobo, over the shoulder kind of style. Now this is described as a black calf leather with silver tone dog clip hardware on the strap. The bag has tonal stitching and a single suede line compartment with flat pocket, magnetic fastening. The way it's styled on the model here, it's a very long shoulder bag, very different from, I feel like, a lot of the trends we've been seeing in handbags, which have been quite high up, like higher up shoulder bags. This is a bit of a different fit, but if you have the preference of a crossbody, it could be that as well. It's also different in that another trend we've seen is this sort of elongated moon, more like east-west shape, whereas this is more of like a I don't want to say north-south, but more elongated, more of like a droplet shape. It's interesting to me that we're seeing this because Phoebe Philo has been giving us bigger bags, very big bags. And with that, the price has always been higher up, right? Like this extra large, massive cabas bag. And this is what I thought we would eventually see her move towards. This bag, it's going for $1250 USD or 990 euros. Again, it is much smaller, more minimal. But I think about how a brand like the Row has found great success with their smaller minimal bags like the Row 90s, also comparably priced. Although this bag is going for $1250 USD. Again, the euro price is 990 euros. If you're in Europe, you benefit from that pricing. Girl mathing that. If you're in Europe especially, I just think it's a nice chic little mini on-the-go kind of bag. As much as I am in the stage in my life where I just need bigger bags typically, I also just like to, within my bigger bag, have a cuter, smaller, grab-and-go everyday style. Again, I think about how the Row 90s has been my catch-all inside my Margot, but I could see myself gravitating towards a bag like this. I just think it's really smart because for a lot of people, especially for a new brand, it's a really high ask to have bags at the 3, 4, 5K plus price point. This is a brand that not a lot of people are familiar with, so I feel like these types of bags allow the customer to test drive, if you will, and potentially invest in more. Next bag I want to talk about is the small gig bag. So this is of course a style we've seen We've seen the gig bag in the medium size. Now they have the small. The colors I want to mention, which we've already seen, but the colors I want to highlight are new. We've got this oxblood suede, beautiful color, just a gorgeous deep burgundy, redishy kind of color with this like silver tone hardware. It just feels very Phoebe Philo. Tons of tones her brand has been using. Again, I just love the continuity, her very exacting vision for her own brand. We're seeing the continuation of styles, but just in different colors that feel very her. We also have this in the cookie color. Also love that name. Even just looking at the variation of neutrals, we've got black, cognac, stucco, toffee, cookie, and oxblood. Just a beautiful rainbow of these muted neutrals that I just love, frankly. Next, we've got the medium kit cabas in khaki. So a new color, a new finish in this suede. Again, another great style. If you're looking for like a larger, more substantial bag, again, this is one Phoebe has had since the launch of her own brand. She had like the small size. Here it is in this medium, in this new color, and in the suede. We also have this extra large cabas in the sour apple color. Also love the names for her colors. It's described as an extra large cabas in shag pile. The bag has a fuzzy exterior with blurred tapestry jacquard woven to create a shaggy look, black suede lining, leather base, silver tone dog clip closure, semi-structured bag, has a Bombay border and tonal stitching. Again, this is a gargantuan bag. It's kind of giving Grinch in like the best way. This isn't something I'm gonna buy, but I feel this is for like quirky lady or gentleman that may have been like very old Celine, but want something that is just a big massive bag. She can like lug things from A to B. I think it's really fun. Next, we've got the pocket pouch in black leather. It's more like SLGs, and again, we're seeing Phoebe delve into this category. So it comes in this black and this toffee, and as the name states, it's this pouch. It's got a zipper, and it has this black and suede intarsia striping that Phoebe has done on her bags. Part leather, it's suede. Something that I just think serves as a nice catch-all inside of a bag, or something that you could take as a little clutch. Maybe you're traveling, you just need like a little clutch to dinner, but you don't want to designate a whole bag to that. Fit a phone, some of your small essentials. I also think there are people that really love their small leather goods, who love bag organization, who want to match those like little pieces with their bags. Phoebe Philo is offering that here. Next, we've also got the pocket card holder. So it's a zippered pouch that has that card slot on the back, a nice little Phoebe Philo treat. We're seeing Phoebe Philo enter in this category, which is a little bit more approachable in price for those that want a little bit of the brand or want to sort of like test drive the brand, see if they fall in love with it, then this is something to consider. Next, let's talk about shoes. So we've got these tilt mules with this very exaggerated, very defined square toe, and I already can see some people really finding this very repelling. Kind of customer that would wear old Celine back in the day. Like, this is very much that, like, just quirky, strange, unique shoes. It's not appealing to these conventional ideas of femininity or things like that, but I think there's also a confidence that a woman would have to carry to wear a shoe like this. This kind of woman wears fashion for herself, and I think there's something about these weird shoes that definitely turn off a lot of people, but I think this is also how Phoebe Philo adds intrigue to a lot of the outfits we see here. Wearing these with like a classically tailored menswear inspired pair of trousers or a simple button shirt, like this will just add a little bit more attitude, add a little bit more punch to an outfit. It's not necessarily flattering in the feminine way. It's quite strange, it's quite unusual, but that's the intent behind a pair of shoes like this. In that same category, we have the tilt ankle boots. And even if we just look at these compared to the square toe soft ankle boot she had from when she launched her line, this is even more exaggerated. It's more extreme. It's not going to speak to everybody. It's for a very particular consumer, but I think for that woman that wore old Celine back in the day, like this will totally speak to her, like the kind of consumer that would wear the furry Birkenstocks. Next, we've got the tug ankle boot. So this is in this plum brown as well as it comes in this black. It's got this cylindrical heel, very architectural. This to me is less experimental, but I think that rounded heel that is so rounded creates a little bit more interest. Again, the toe is rounded here. So if you are not in the square toe camp, Phoebe has you covered in this category. There's also this gathered flat. So it's Phoebe's version of a ballet flat, but the toe box, the vamp is higher. I even think about how some of her heels during the Celine days had this kind of effect in a different way, went higher up on the foot. Next, we've got the club boot. So this is a slim fitting leather sock-like boot. We've seen the club slipper, which she still offers. So this is like a boot version of that. So now let's look at accessories, and we'll go through the jewelry here. So we've got this medallion necklace in sterling silver. So she previously did these medallion dish earrings. Now we've got this style in the form of a necklace. There's a sculptural disc at the collar of the neck. It can be adjusted. It looks like you can wear it like a choker. It's very sculptural. Her jewelry, I think, adds a sort of softer touch to some of these quite like tailored, almost masculine, I'm saying that in quotations, but like it sort of softens the tailoring and adds in it her own way, I think, a more of a feminine touch. Next, we have this hoop tie pendant. So it's a lariat necklace in sterling silver with this weight cube pendant and this hoop detail, clasp fastening at the back. And then we have these hallmark earrings. There are these curved plate earrings with these decorative hallmark details. For other accessories, she has this padded scarf in olive black. It has these fringes, and on one side it's black, the other side it's olive. There's also this double face scarf, 100% cashmere. It's more of a curved shape. Now let's move on to ready to wear. So we've got this cropped aviator jacket in black. It comes with a contrast shearling collar, which is detachable, and I think it's very timeless, but the cut feels a little bit more streamlined, more modern. It's described as lightly padded for warmth. We also have this padded trench coat. This, I remember we saw a version of this with the launch of her line with this in this chocolate brown. Now we have this salt and pepper wool. It's described as very generous. Again, it's got that dramatic Phoebe Philo collar. And that's what I love about her fashion. I think she takes these quite like beautiful and timeless pieces, but just adds a little bit more flair, a little bit more attitude that feels a little bit more with the times. Next, we've got this golf jacket. It's in this trench cotton. It has this color of like a trench coat and like material of a trench coat and feel. Also love her use of these beautiful muted neutrals. And it also comes in this burgundy, like very deep burgundy coated linen canvas. And again, Phoebe Philo really does love her snap fastened necklines. I really just love her outerwear. I feel since she launched her line, she's had some of the best outerwear, some of the most, I think, defining styles of outerwear since her line was launched, really giving brands like Burberry to like Max Mara a run for their money in terms of their outerwear offerings. The way I think consumers would go to those types of brands, I think Phoebe Philo is definitely a lot more niche than those brands, but I think she's able to take a lot of what those outer brands do, but adds this flair of fashion. And I think sometimes outerwear is often overlooked by a lot of brands. Sometimes it'll just be like a classic shape with the seasonal pattern or color. But we also, with her line, still have really great classic cuts. We've got this man's coat in tobacco, the double rusted coat with these defined slits. Next, we've got this classic coat in black, as the name states, the jumbo seam detailing on the lapels. There's just, again, a little bit more attitude with a piece like this. There's the curved shoulder coat, again, the jumbo seam detailing. And then we've got this tuxedo jacket in black wool. It's described as a single-breasted jacket in black bonded grain de poudre wool, cut for a boxy silhouette with inverted shoulders, sharp pressed with raw edges. The Barathia weave fabric has a structured modern hand, button fastening with pockets at the sides. Now let's move on to dresses and skirts. So we've got this tubular linear dress in tobacco ivory. So it's this color block cotton dress with this satin tubular neck composed of graphic panels in contrasting colors, tie-dye tobacco and ivory, with lightly padded shoulder pads and long sleeves. The semi-sheer lightweight cotton is doubled in the body. This back neck zip and snap fastening for a close fit. Very unusual, but again, to me, this is actually very old Celine. Next, we've got this double slit tailored skirt. This basically takes the idea of tailored pants, trousers, making it into a maxi skirt, but the slit is at the center, so it looks like pants, but it's actually a skirt. The model is wearing these heels and a cashmere sweater. Next, we have this liquid high neck dress. So it's in this like stretch silk satin, a tie at the neck. And then we've got this drawstring jumpsuit in black leather. It gathers at the waist, very much a statement piece. I feel like this is Phoebe Philo's version of more, I don't want to say like evening wear, but like outfit for an event. Now let's move on to pants or trousers. I feel like I should say trousers because Phoebe Philo is a UK brand, but these tapestry trousers are described as composed of contrasting floral cotton jacquard and organic black cotton denim panels. The trousers have a regular rise and a gentle flare, pockets at the front and patch pockets at the back. Another category I have loved from Phoebe Philo's brand are these just really unusual, unique pants or trousers. They're just so good. And again, we've got the continuation with the zip trousers here, another signature since the launch of her brand. We've got these straight leg jeans in green bronze, worn in this monochromatic way. The apron trousers in chocolate. We've seen these before, but now in this beautiful chocolate color. These track trousers in navy, and these boyish trousers in white leather. Next, we have these split tux trousers in black bonded grain de poudre wool, a deconstructed take on classic tuxedo trousers. The satin band, which runs down the sides from hip to hem, is semi-attached. Zips at the ankle allow for an adjustable line. Tailored, the trousers have an oversized fit and dropped rise. The fabric has a matte surface contrasting with the satin sheen panel. And there's also these razor pleat trousers in khaki. So we saw her introduce with the last drop the dress variations. Now let's move on to shirts and tops. So we've got this tubular color block top. I feel is something that probably looks very unusual to a lot of people, but again, this is something I could see like the old Celine customer easily pulling off, like the tubular neckline, the jarring use of color, the asymmetry, just a lot of unusual design features, but like the colors feel more Phoebe Philo, a little bit more muted, maybe less vibrant. A lot of brands have been going for this very layered look in terms of styling. This gives off a similar visual effect, but it's condensed and it's just a singular top. Next, we've got this tubular top in tobacco black. So if you find red too intense, there's this version in this tobacco and black combination. Button collar shirt in midnight pinstripe, also comes in black. This leather overshirt in green bronze, this much like the leather pants we just saw. We've got this tuxedo shirt in white and black, this button collar shirt in black, as well as this batwing crew neck in dark khaki. This is unusual. There's this backed v-neck sweater in light gray. So from the front, it actually looks like a nice v-neck sweater, but then in the back, it has this warped look, very similar to the skirt we saw for the previous drop. But if that is too unusual for you, we've got this shrunken v-neck jumper in dark blue, made of fine merino wool. We've got this easy v-neck sweater in beige, fine rib high neck top in dark khaki, this moulin jumper in camel wool. Lots of knitwear options for the fall. There's also this liquid knot collar top in cream, so similar to the dress shown earlier, but in this top variation. I also want to mention, we also see Maddie Diop is wearing this, and she is someone that fronted the recent campaign for this drop, so she's a famous director and actress. I love the styling of this campaign. I love the way she's styled here. I just think it's fabulous. In terms of my favorites, it's really hard to pick my favorites, but I really like the small gig in the oxblood. Something about these tapestry trousers. Again, this is really unusual for my style now, but I actually really quite like these. This dark autumnal floral. I could just see in a more, kind of feels a little bit like gothic to me. I see this worn with simple black turtleneck and like the peak sunglasses, worn with this like small gig bag and oxblood. I don't know, I really love this for like the fall. I think it's great. Another piece that I really enjoy from this drop, I always like the outerwear. I think it's always so good. But something about this golf jacket and trench, I know it's like super simple from afar, but I like the color, I like the neckline, neckline. I like that it's like a bomber jacket, but it has that defined neckline. I also really like the mini bean sling bag in black. I think that's a great little, cute little like mini bag. I also just really love this padded trench coat in salt and pepper. I think there's just something about it that speaks to me because it's like a trench coat, but it's padded. It's something you can take into even the cooler borderline winter months. Maybe not in Canada unless I'm wearing other layers underneath. I like how generous the cut of that coat is. I really do like the double slit tailored skirt. I think that is so interesting and super unexpected with it looking like pants, but it's actually a skirt. So yes, that is my video for today. Thank you so much for joining me in another one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.